Good morning, children. Today we will be discussing about the standard error and then the significance of this. So first, you know what is population and what is sample. This is important for us to know why we are going for a sample, because it is practically not possible to take the data from the whole population. So what we do, we take a sample and then that we apply it to the total population, the values whatever we get. So we generally cannot find the true mean and the true standard deviation of a whole population, as it is not feasible. So we extract a sample from the population, that is the sample, and perform our statistical analysis on that sample. So now here, when we are talking about the sample, you have to have an idea what is the sample size, how much should be size, how we calculate the size and all. These are all after, once we know the importance, we'll go to those steps. We would want to know how close the mean of the sample is to that of the population. That is, it should represent the population. The sample should be able to represent the population. For this, we use standard error of mean. So why we are using standard error of mean? So that we can make the values from the sample to be applied to the population, so that it is quite close to the values of the population also. So now, what is standard error of mean? SEM. Standard error of mean gives us the potential error in our estimation of the mean of the population. So what is the potential error in our estimation? That's what we get. So this is equal to sigma by square root of n. So where n is the sample size, or this is equal to square root of sigma square by n. So it can be calculated by dividing the standard deviation of the sample. So we know about the standard deviation. I have taught you about the standard deviation in my previous class. So that you know how to calculate the standard deviation. And by the square root of the number of observations in the sample. That is square of the standard deviation by n, square root of standard deviation square by the sample size gives us the standard error of mean. So here one thing you should keep it in mind, the size of the sample is big, so standard errors will be less. So better to go for a bigger sample size so that the standard error is less. That means the larger the sample we can analyze, lesser the possible error in our sample's mean. What does that mean? It means that there is 68.2% chances that the true mean of the population lies within the sample mean, plus or minus 1 into standard error of mean. So if you plus or minus 1 into standard error of mean, it is 68.2. The same you multiply by 2 times standard error of mean, the chances of true mean to be lying within that is 95.4% chance. The same thing, there is 99.7% chance the true mean of the population lies within the sample mean, plus or minus 3 into standard error of mean. So this is how you know if it is one time we are taking the standard error mean, multiplying it by 1 time, 2 times or 3 times. When we take 3 times, we are almost covering the 100% of the population. So suppose the value is 70 to 110, will take the height of the population in the sample we have taken. Okay, so depending on you have to take a chances this side and that side. So you know here minus 10, minus 20, minus 30, 10, 20 and 30. So as you go on adding to that, 0 to 10 it is 34.1. So it is covering 0 to minus 10 to 10, it is coming to 68.2. So another 13.6 on both sides when it is coming in this bell curve, we are covering 95.4%. Okay. So uses of standard error. So where are we using them? As discussed, it can be used to estimate the limits of population mean when we know the mean and standard deviation of the sample. So we should know the mean and standard deviation of the sample. Then we can estimate the values of the sample collected values. It can be applied to the population also. It can be also used in hypothesis testing. That is, what do we mean by hypothesis testing? That is, it can be used to know if there is a statistically significant difference between the mean of one sample versus the mean of the other. Suppose you are collecting two samples, x1 and x2 will take. So whether statistically significant difference, how much is there, that also we can know by using the standard error. So standard error for hypothesis testing, how we use it? Suppose there are two samples. First sample has n1 sample with the mean x1 bar and standard deviation sigma 1. Second sample has n2 samples with mean x2 bar and standard deviation sigma 2. So difference of means in these two samples is x2 bar minus x bar minus x1 minus x1 bar. That is x2 minus x1 both with bars. The standard error of difference is given by the following formula. This is given by square root of sigma 1 square by n plus sigma 2 square by n2. To know whether there is a statistically significant difference between the two samples, we do the following calculation. What we do? Z value is calculated. How are we going to calculate the Z value? Z is difference in means by standard error of difference. That is x2 bar minus x1 bar by square root of sigma 1 square by n plus sigma 2 square by n2. So that is, if the Z value is more than 1.96, then we can confidentially say that there is a statistical significance difference between the two samples. That is, Z value should be more than 1.96. Then the statistical significance between the two samples is, when we calculate in the p-value, it will be less than 0.001. That is, it is significant. Now we are going to take up a few questions and try to answer them. So here, first question is, systolic blood pressure of 566 male of sample A, it was measured. Mean systolic blood pressure was found to be 128.8 mmHg and standard deviation was 13.05 mmHg. Find 95% confidence limit of systolic blood pressure within which the population mean would lie. So from the sample, you are going to apply it to the population now. If mean SBP of another sample B is found to be 132 mm, is this sample drawn from the same population from which sample A is drawn? That is the hypothesis one what we did. Whether both the samples are from different places or is it from the same population of as of A. So now let us answer this question. So the first is finding 95% confidence limits of systolic blood pressure within which the population mean would lie. So number of males examined for systolic blood pressure, sample size, this is 566. Standard deviation of systolic blood pressure of the sample, SD mean is 13.05. Both the values he has already given. So systolic blood pressure of the sample is how much? 128.8 mmHg. So now what is step 1? Calculating standard error of mean. So here standard error of mean is equal to standard deviation by square root of n, that is 13.05 by square root of n is the sample size 566 minus 0.55. So now next coming to step 2, 95% confidence limits of BP within which the population mean would lie. Range of population mean would be mean plus or minus 2 standard error mean. Lower limit of CI 128.8 minus 2 into 0.55, that is 127.7. Upper limit is 128.8 plus 2 into 0.55, which is the standard error of mean we calculated. So that is coming to 129.9. The limits of systolic blood pressure within which the population mean would lie at 95%, that is 127.7 mmHg to 129.9 mmHg. So now conclusion, sample A and sample B are not drawn from the same population, as upper limit of A is 129 whereas the mean of B is 132. So both are from different samples. You understood, I think. You just go back to the question, because this 132, the mean was already given by in the question itself. Okay. Now coming to the second question. Polymorph count was 350 out of 500 WBCs at 95% confidence level. Within what limit the population proportion will lie? So, when it is coming to the solution, find 95% confidence limits of BP. Not the BP. Limits of the, it is polymorphs. Sorry, this is not answered properly. Make a correction in this. 95% confidence limit of the polymorph, the population proportion would lie. Number of WBCs examined for polymorph, sample size n is equal to 500. Number of polymorphs observed is equal to 350. So finding standard deviation SD is equal to the P is proportion of polymorphs, P square root of P into 1 minus P, where P is proportion of polymorphs. P is equal to number of polymorphs observed by number of WBCs examined into 100. That is 350 by 500 into 100. That is coming to 70%. Standard deviation, square root of P 1 minus P is equal to square root of 70% into 30%. Standard error of proportions SD by square root of n is equal to square root of 70% into 30% by square root of 500. That is coming to 2.05. So standard error is coming to 2.05. Step 2 is 95% confidence limits of proportion of polymorphs within which the population proportion would lie is range of population proportion of polymorphs would be proportion plus or minus 2 standard errors, isn't it? 95% is 2 standard errors. So lower limit 70 minus 2 into 2.05, that is equal to 65.9. Upper limit is equal to 70 plus 2 into 2.05, that is 74.1. So the conclusion is the limits of proportion of polymorphs within which they would lie at 95% is between 65.9 to 74.1 per 100 WBCs. Now the third question is, determine if heights differ with sex. So here they have taken the boys and girls heights. Calculate the standard error and find the significance. So you have to answer whether the height differs with the sex or not. Sex number of boys and number of girls is 169 and 54, that is equal to n. Mean height in centimeters is boys is 168 and girls is 153. Standard deviation is 14 and 8. So all the values are given. So the mean of boys x1 bar into girls is x2 bar is 168 into 153 centimeters respectively, and the difference is 15 centimeters between the boys and the girls. Whether this difference occurred by chance or there is difference, definitely there is a sex related difference in the height. If the difference is by chance, height difference by sex is statistically it is not significant, isn't it? So if the difference is not by chance, the height difference by sex is real, hence statistically it is significant. So to understand it, z value or standard error of mean difference is needed. Formula: z value is equal to mean difference by standard error of difference. So actually this I had told you initially. This is the one. Z is equal to difference in means by standard error of difference. So Z value, mean difference by standard error of difference. Mean difference is equal to x1 bar minus x2 bar is equal to 168 minus 153, that is equal to 15 centimeters. So standard error of difference is equal to square root of 14 square 2 by 169 plus 8 square 2 by 54. So this is 14 square 2 by 169 plus 8 square by 2 by 54, that is equal to square root of 196 by 169 plus 64 by 54, that is equal to square root of 1.16 plus 1.19 is equal to square root of 2.35. This is equal to 1.53 centimeters. So the third step is z value is equal to mean difference by standard error difference. This is equal to 15 by 1.53. This is equal to 9.8. So as the z value is more than 1.96, the p value is less than 0.001, which is highly significant. So in conclusion, the heights of the boys and girls differs. The difference is not just by chance. Okay? Thank you.